We've been a Spitfire partner for just over 10 years now, but in that time both ourselves and the Spitfire provision has developed quite extensively. Spitfire obviously provide us with our telecommunications and our data networking requirements. The data networking can be everything from a basic ADSL line up to Ethernet, and we're also very interested to start working with them on mobile provision. We have a lot of our customers are both on-site and mobile-based, so there's a huge management problem with managing disparate connectivity problems, mobile phones, on-site phones. The ability to bring all that together on a single bill and a single point of contact will be very valuable, I think. Our biggest product is probably the SIP communicator. We've found that scales incredibly well. We've got one of our earliest customers, again, who've been with us in Spitfire for about 10 years. They started off working from a home office with a single ADSL line and a single SIP communicator. They now have 4 sites. They run Ethernet into 2 of those sites, and then FTTC into smaller satellite offices. We have probably 40 SIP communicator phones, and we're also looking at an MPLS solution for them as well. So Spitfire have been able to provide the initial requirement and then grow with both us and our customer base as well as the needs have expanded. The fact that Spitfire can work with more than one vendor is also very useful. We've been looking specifically at Ethernet at the moment, and not all of the suppliers have got connectivity, so we can either go to Virgin or BT Wholesale or whoever, and hopefully provide the right level of connectivity that the client's looking for. As a small business, it's vital for us that anybody's services that we resell provides a very high level of service. I mean, if a supplier that we use gives a customer of ours a bad service, it doesn't reflect on them, it reflects on us. So we are very, very careful about who we choose to partner with. And obviously, with being a partner with Spitfire for 10 years, that kind of tells you everything you need to know. Yes, there have been problems, but it's the way that Spitfire and ourselves can resolve them. In a lot of ways, that's when you find out how good a company really is. If something goes wrong, do they just run around like headless chickens and turn the phone off, or do they work with you? Do they solve the problem? And that's the service we get. I mean, there are very few issues, but when they are solved quickly and successfully. Over the years, we've noticed that Spitfire they are very proactive in keeping abreast of current technology. Certainly with their managing director, he's always on our annual partner seminar. He will brief us on the last 12 months and what he thinks coming in the next 12 months. We also get sort of white papers and lots of backup information on the latest technology and the way things are changing. We find this very useful when we're talking to our clients, because obviously it saves us time in having to do a lot of in-depth research ourselves, because Spitfire are helping us with that information. The annual partner seminar we find very useful. It's a good opportunity to touch base with our account manager if we haven't seen him during the year, so we normally do. But also some of the people like Andy Duncan, their technical guy. He gives us a very good brief today, and I did catch up with him, and we talk about a few little technical issues which are running around. I also find the days quite good for, obviously, because we interact with other partners. We've all got different angles, we all work in different ways, but we're all selling similar services. I just had a brief conversation with a guy from London and talking about what our approach to industry is. And we both find that very valuable. And both gone away with a couple of points on things we might look at and might try when we get back. An example of how useful we found some of the Spitfire services in ways that might not be apparent initially. As I've said earlier, we use SIP communicators for communication systems, telecommunications. Most people just consider that, you're selling a phone system, that's pretty much all you're doing. But when we installed it, because of the way the cloud provision for SIP communicator, we actually incorporate that into a disaster recovery provision. So we've always said when we're selling it, there is a DR element in this. We had a practical example of this recently. We had a customer on a business estate which is next to a kinetic rocket testing site. There was a small fire in a storeroom on the rocket testing site, and it's standard operating procedure. If there is a fire there, the fire service and the police will evacuate anybody within half a mile of the site before they know what the problem is. So our customer literally had a knock at the door, the policeman, right, can you leave the premises immediately? As part of our DR provision, we have a number of phones at key members of staff's homes, not plugged in, just sat there on the side. And we also say, if you have to evacuate the building, grab your phone, take it with you. Literally, they took the phones home, plugged them into their Ethernet at home, and within half an hour, the company was back up and running. And that's from a literally leave the premises now, take what you can. So we found that, it's a nice. It's not perhaps what you would think about when you're selling a phone system, but it just proves the flexibility of something like SIP Communicator. When we resell Spitfire services, they are representing us to our clients, and our reputation is key to us. We trade on a reputation. Spitfire have never given us any problems. They've always helped back up our reputation as somebody that can provide a high quality service and sort any problems out if they occur.